Nope. I'm good. Uh-oh, who just jumped on? Bill, what's up? Hey, listen, for whatever reason, I kept trying to jump on and it would not let me whatsoever. Um, Telling me the connection was unavailable, so we're finally on. I think we've got a different setup here than what we had originally. How bad does that look? Or is the quality crappy? No input, huh? I think what I'm going to do is flip the camera because then it's easier for me to see what's going on. And then just do it. Do it how I do it, you know? Now we can get after it. Just a little bit of zoom. Maybe too much zoom. I think that can work. I think it can work. Yeah, I think it can work. It's not like that light washes me out so bad. There we go. Yeah, it's even worse. That's not too bad. You do get a shadow there. It's all good. Now that I'm completely blinded by lights, we're going to try to shoot some arrows. And we're going to do that a couple times tonight, so don't fret. That's how we'll start tonight, I guess. Kick everything, bump everything 4 times. It's funny you say it's a decoy for Bigfoot. I'm trying to start a series on stuff that happens in the middle of the dark in the woods. I'm gonna be all over the place tonight, let me tell you. Yeah, I missed. It is a little different angle, Bill. Trying to mess around with a couple things. I still don't really like where that light's at. I am gonna need that light though. It's going to blind me bunkers. That should be a little better. Well, I don't know why I'm trying to shoot 7 different types of arrows. This is ridiculous. That one's got a 250 grain insert. Those both had 125s on them. These arrows are 30 grains heavier than these arrows. It's madness. Stick one in a leg, that's fine. I'm just going to shoot the white ones from now on. Except for that one, because I broke that knock. I broke that whole arrow on the last. Shaving up. Yeah, Bill, guide me in here. I've got my arrows to contend with. Let's move those over that way. All right. Tell me what you think. We're just going to put everyone in the leg tonight because I'm straddling over this pole and I can't do it. gotta shoot, man. Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's a pretty good angle there, huh? I'm so smoked, Bill. Like, I'm just putting myself through terror. As you can see, my skills have gone way downhill on day 3. But that's all right. I'm probably going to shoot 100 tonight or 150. Who knows? Um, how's that angle? That's a pretty good angle, huh? Doesn't get my face in it, but... If I stand over, I can't even stand over there. What if I do a little bit more of this? That's probably worse, huh? I'm just gonna shoot. I'm gonna go with it. Flying around with arrows all night. where they all should be, but I keep screwing around. And now we'll shoot a much heavier one, shoot it low. Alright, so I think I finally got some of the camera angle settled in, right? Except for that. It's rough business in the backyard. Yeah, Pain Train Outdoors. Who's all ready for hunting season? I need another light stand. It's a little better. Not great. Who's ready to kill some fawns this year? That's what I need to know. Like, who's going to be the fawn slayer? Alfred. Alright, so what's everybody's trad setup? Or your bow setup? Or your hunting setup? I don't care. What's your setup? Put it in the comment section. Let's all talk about it. Alfred's probably going hunting with a dildo this year.
lights again.
If I break another knock, I'm going to be upset. All right, Bill, I've heard the story about this 1962 Bear recurve. Well, I haven't heard the story. I've heard that you shoot it, but I don't know. How did you come about owning this particular bow? That's what I want to know. Because I feel like there's a story there. I'm at 17 yards, pain train. Count my footsteps. "25 or 26 paces. 17 yards, bro. Which is fine for in the dark. It's fine for this purpose. Did shoot about 30 shots from 32, 33 yards. Telling you, at that distance, I'm really preferring the 500 spine arrows. I don't know, the 600 spine arrows just seem like they're not flying as good. So that's why I keep shooting them. You can see I'm shooting two different kinds. 3 different weights. Whoa, stick it in the heart. Stick it in the spine. Alright, so there's at least 18 people on here who haven't put what they shoot in the comments. Alright, just for Alfred, I'm going to go behind the camera here. What's up, Timber? I'm going to shoot one from like 35 and see what happens. Yeah, that's useless. I can't even see the arrow back there. It's so dark. I see some new viewers. I'm shooting the Houston Legacies. I have two different grain weights. I have a 5mm that's a 600 spine, and it's 7.1, and then I have a 500 spine that's 8.3 grains per inch. So I'm messing around. I think I'm just firing arrows like crazy. Timber, what'd you get? But I only bought half a dozen of those 500 spines. I think I'm going to go and buy about 10 more of those because I think that's my bread and butter. Timber, I got to congratulate you. Last night there was a guy on the live. He was talking about buying a budget setup. We gave him a little bit of advice. He jumped off the live, immediately bought a bow on the internet, and then jumped back on the live. It was pretty stellar. I thought that was awesome. Bill, I probably got about 3 hours of sleep last night. You know I shot 150 or so shots last night. Probably 100 the night before. This is like, it's just my brutal week, right? I'm gonna put it on there. I don't know if you can see that, but my finger's actually wearing out. It's crazy. What kind of recommendations you looking for? You know, my best recommendation? Don't get married and have kids. You know, my second recommendation? Don't shine a light in your eye while you're trying to shoot a bow. I gotta do something with that light. It's like looking into the sun and I can't see anything. What if I do that and bounce it off the house? How's that? Yeah, maybe I'll be able to allow my eyes to adjust and see something here. That's brutal doing it the other way. Yeah, I've got to agree with the Black Hunter Sage for traditional. I shot PSEs for years. I bought a Matthews like 3 years ago, and it's the first flagship bow I ever had. Before that, I had a PSE. I don't know whether it was a PSE Beast. It's still hanging in my garage. I shoot it a lot, but that bow's 20-some years old. I've also got a PSE Dream Season. I shot that a lot last night. I do have the Matthews here because I'm eventually going to get so tired. Down to fish, you're 100% correct, man. Bear makes, today they make an excellent bow for the price. And they're already set up. They've got the sights, they've got everything you need. Thanks for throwing that out there. Eddie, if you're looking at any of the previous comments there, any bow that you buy today, as long as you take your time, you work through the process of getting it set up right for you, is probably going to be fine. You could get a really nice used PSE bow, probably for 350, 400 bucks. And by setup, I mean, you know, you have to look at all the considerations. You got to look at your draw weight, your draw length, because you may buy a bow that somebody's shooting at 28 or 29 inches, but you've only got a 26.5 or 27-inch draw. That's going to affect the type of arrows that you need, the type of spined arrows that you need, right? Um, the type of broadheads that you're going to shoot, or the type of field tips that you're going to shoot. It's all going to matter when you go to get that thing tuned in to the way you shoot it. But you can buy an already complete bow, used, 300, 350 bucks. A really good compound bow. I mean, if I had to sell that one that's 20 some years old, I'd probably get $75 for it. Because nobody wants it. That's even worse. Yeah, today's market for flagship bows, Bill brings up a really unique point there. It seems like guys who have money will shoot a flagship bow for a season. They'll play around with it, they'll get it tuned in, get it shooting great, and then next year they'll buy a new bow in June. I don't know why they do, but they just buy a new bow every season. There's always tons of them available. It's a good place to look. Bill, did that guy have to perform any favors above the $400, or that sounds like a heck of a deal on that bow, especially if it's not that old. I just have to give my arm somewhat of a break here. crazy how you guys can't see the red one down there. The green shows up good, but the red does not. Man. Let's leave it in a little bit. Bill, I'd love to have anybody on the show, buddy. You want to come up? You want to shoot? Let's do it. What I'm thinking about doing is going to the indoor archery range tomorrow, shooting live from there. They've got a really great range, really awesome facility. I think that'd be fun. I sold a goose blind to a guy on Facebook Marketplace the other day too. I'd love to have him come down and shoot with us. I think he'd be a cool cat to shoot. Young kid, super motivated. Where's there a neck shot out? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. That's not a neck shot. Jerk. You know, Alfred's hating on me. He's only hating on me because he's already shot a deer this year. He's got some red tags. He went out, he shot a doe with recurve. I ain't even never gone hunting with a recurve. He went hunting a lot last year. Now he's just raking me over the coals, making fun of me. Yeah, that's where we ought to go. The Lebanon Indoor Archery and Supplies, man. That place, I'm telling you, as far as an indoor archery range, there's nothing about that place that isn't great. I mean, prices on some of the stuff they're selling isn't awesome, but that's a heck of a little place to go shoot. And it's 15 bucks. Like, you could shoot all day. We're at 52 minutes. I only wanted to shoot an hour, so we got about 8 minutes left. Maybe we get 2 more rounds in, but when I pull the bow back, my bicep is on fire on the inside. The shoulder's just gone numb by now. This is the 3rd day in a row, well over 150 shots. And I'm just kind of conditioning myself. I got a severe neck injury. It hurts, it's painful. But what this does is help kind of build those muscles up. It's gonna get me prepared for that November day where it's 19 degrees and I've been sitting in the tree for 11 hours and I'm freezing. I'll still be able to pull the bow back, still be able to make a good shot. My fingers aren't even, like, as far as the release goes, my fingers don't even work anymore. They're like, I mean, they look like hamburger. But that's exactly why this channel's called The Pain Train. You want to shoot big bucks in Pennsylvania consistently on public ground? You're gonna work for it. There's no doubt about it. You're just gonna work for it. There's nothing given to anybody around this place. Nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna get 2 more rounds in, but I'm not gonna promise I'm gonna hit the target every time. DJ, I will not be driving home from work in the dark. Might be driving home from somewhere else, but not from work. That brings up an awesome point, you know, as far as, like, I know we make jokes, it's fun, it's good stuff, but on a serious note, I passed up on probably the craziest deer I've ever seen. About 3 or 4 minutes after daylight, it's on the, or 3 or 4 minutes after dark, it's on that, there's a bell curve there where when you're in the first portion of legal shooting light versus that 5 or 6 minutes before they change to the next 5 or 6 minutes. On the first day of that change, so it's still pretty light out, but he comes in on the edge of a field to work a scrape 13 yards, probably like a 130-inch 6-point. It's bigger than the two 8-points I've killed in the last 2 years. So as far as from an outdoor perspective, from a YouTube perspective, you know, we're going to uphold the regulations as close to godly as we possibly can, and we would encourage everybody to do that because it's the right thing to do. I mean, it's a resource everybody has an equal opportunity to. We got to protect it, do the right thing. And we all know Alfred will report you if he catches you baiting. So, yeah. I can't even hold the bow back. That's right, there's really no gray area there. What's crazy, you know who those guys are, because when you're out, maybe you're at work or you're telling that story to a lot of people, and most of those die-hard bow hunters that have killed some decent deer over their lifespan, they'll be like, ah man, I would have shot that deer 100 times out of 100. Well, that's not me. That's not Pain Train Outdoors. We're going to get to them where they're at in daylight. We're going to do that extra work. We're going to figure out where they're at. Yeah, who knows, Bill? I mean, this has been my big pet peeve for years now, because I know how hard I work at it. I know how much time and effort I put into it. And then you've always got that guy that just shows up at the last hour. And, you know, if I shoot a deer, I'm probably texting you 30 seconds after I shoot it if I need help, or I'm texting my buddies, hey, big buck down. When you get that text 27 minutes after legal shooting light, big buck down, you're like, well, what the heck took you so, like, did you drop your phone out of the tree? Timber, it's nice to have you back. Did you somehow forget to call your buddy and be like, hey man, I'm gonna need your help before you leave to go home? Timber, no, this cannot be possible, because if a guy jumped off last night, bought a bow and jumped back on, and then a guy jumped off tonight, bought a bow and then got back, I can't believe that. That's not even possible. Not 2 nights in a row. And I know it's not the same guy. Dude, I believe you. The guy last night, his name was Andrew. Seriously, same scenario. Started talking about, hey, look, what's the best thing I could do? What are my options? He went and he ordered one online. He got a crossbow. All right, I'm all out. That's another 7. Alright, so where are we at here? It's a longbow? What's everybody want me to do? Everybody want me to take 10 and keep shooting, or do you want me to just bullshit about stuff? Because I'm totally open for a question and answer. Totally open to talk setups. Guys, if you want, I'll stand here all night and talk deer strategy. It doesn't matter to me. I'd love to do a Q&A, Bill. Problem is, I'm not shooting anymore because I'm not going to be able to move my arm. I mean, I can feel that pinch. You know, because you shoot one, right? And it's brutal after a while. I mean, that's probably 3 days, 500 shots minimum. DJ, where at in Arkansas are you? Okay, good to go. Yeah, I'm not familiar. I have to look at a map. I spent a couple months down there at Redstone Arsenal in my younger years. I did a lot of bass fishing, did a lot of traveling to fish for, fish different spots on the Mississippi and everything. And look, I'm telling you, it's beautiful down there. I loved it. You know, the bad part about the bad part about Tennessee is there, like, I've looked at the numbers, right? Because I like to compare numbers, total number of deer in a state versus square miles. There are a lot of counties in Tennessee that just, it truly represents a different challenge than what most guys have when it comes to hunting. There are some counties down there that have 1/5 of the number of, like, the average county in Pennsylvania total deer numbers. It's crazy. And then you go to a place like, I don't know, Kansas, and it's roughly the same. Geographically, it's roughly the same size as Pennsylvania. Has 1/3 the amount of hunters, and 2/3 the amount of deer. Well, yeah, I know you know. Where are you from in Tennessee? Don't say Chattanooga. You're from Chattanooga. I knew it. Like, for example, I spent 3 days at Pigeon Forge just looking for deer. All right, Nashville's great. Yeah, you're probably a lot better off than on the eastern edge. I spent quite a bit of time at Pigeon Forge just trying to find deer. I hiked up and down giant mountains and ridge tops, and I saw more elk than I saw deer, and that was in one of the national forests down there. So, yeah, whitetail, Tennessee, tough. But they have shot some really big ones there. There's a pretty recent muzzleloader record down there. Did Alfred sign off, Bill? I haven't seen him in the chat. Now here's a good question for all you guys that are on. I know there's not ton of people, so maybe we can talk about it. But if money wasn't an option and deer hunting was the only thing you were thinking about, what's your ideal rut location? I'm lurking. Like if money wasn't an option, you had anything you needed to go, whether you're going to self-film a DIY hunt or you're going to get a guided hunt, heck, even if it's high fence, I don't care. Like what's everybody's dream hunt? Because I'll tell you what mine is here in a second. But I am going to grab a drink, so hang tight. Dave's backyard. You know, you are not wrong, because I'm looking at a couple of podcasts here, kind of confirming a lot of the information I've thought for years. There, this year, on the 11th of November, that big dude that was in here last year, he's going to come back in here to breed those does. And if he's any bigger than what he was last year, I mean, he's going to be a 160-inch slammer. And that, when he says Dave's backyard, he's talking about on the other side of this fence right here, about 90 yards from my deer decoy. And I live in a neighborhood. There's a highway right down there. We love fishing. If you haven't subbed to the channel, sub to the channel. You can see a lot of our trout fishing videos. We do a lot of fly fishing. I like to do a lot of bigger fish stuff, do the shark fishing. Caught some flounder last week. We're down at Nag's Head. So yeah, sub to the channel. We got a lot of fishing content too. Yeah, they did. They did shoot a giant in Tennessee. Thanks, brother, for subbing. DJ, I think, see, you're our kind of guy. That's why you're watching the channel tonight, because that's that's one of the things that's on my bucket list. Get dropped off and spend 3 days just tracking one. Deep snow, brutal conditions. Just follow one until you basically walk them to death, you know? Yeah, everybody calls them fluke. I don't know why I haven't jumped on the bandwagon here. I'm calling flounders still, but Matty B, I'm telling you, I don't know if that's true. I know it's not true. If you're familiar with Seek One, those guys hunt in the city in Georgia. They shoot some of the biggest bucks you could imagine. And like we were just saying here, I live, I don't know, there's a loop here, a bunch of houses, like 100 houses in a development. The loop's 0.7 miles, so it's almost a mile in a loop. On the other side of here, there's a big highway. There's a little swamp in here. There's some places for some deer to lurk and hide. But I'm basically in a big city. I mean, I'm on the outskirts of the city, and there are deer every. I could see 10 deer running across the backyard in the middle of deer season. Maddie, do you have TikTok? Because I think I follow you on TikTok, don't I? I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, my neighbor he has 4 acres here, which basically makes up a retention pond just to the left of this deer target here. And it's a narrow strip that runs down through along some other, like along another housing development there. He shot a 115-inch 7-point in here last year, and he's got like a 20-yard by 20-yard patch where he can sit literally on his own property, where he's far enough away from everybody else. Yeah, I think I've been following Matty B fishing for a long time, quite a while. Yeah, on TikTok, I'm the bearded one sticker. You can tell by this ugly mug I got. UFO. That's nobody else has got any crazy, I don't know, like dream hunts, goals they want to accomplish this year. What's everybody's like? What's the goal? I mean, some people just want to shoot a deer. Some people just want to shoot a buck. Some people want to shoot a buck bigger than the buck they killed last year. Alfred Peter wants to shoot a fawn. I don't know. Some people want to shoot nine does on a management property. I don't know. I think whether you post or you don't post, I think I either followed you because you followed me or something like that. I don't know. There's a guy that sends me stuff. Well, anyway, I don't know where everybody's at. Like in Tennessee, you got Georgia. I don't know, people all over the place. But it's getting late. I've got to clean up this stuff. What's my TikTok? The bearded one sticker. Bill, what's yours? I can't remember what Bill's is. Go out and follow Bill too. For anybody that's on the live right now, Bo Mad Outdoors. They've been a great help for our YouTube channel starting out. He's a great dude. He's got a lot of awesome content. He's super motivated. His story is real similar to mine. I started out hunting as a younger guy, and then at some point, like mid-20s, I lost interest in it. I was riding a lot of motorcycles, hanging out with some guys that raced. And I did that thing for about 10 years. And then somewhere around 34, 35, 36 years old, a guy approached me at work and said, hey, would you take me out and show me how to do this? And I did. And it kind of reinvigorated my love for it. And I've been slamming does with the bow ever since. And I've also managed to kill a couple bucks, but it's been a crazy ride. He's got sort of the same story. We took a hiatus, and I'm glad I did, because if I wouldn't have, I don't know if I'd have any room in my house for taxidermy anymore. But yeah, jump out on his channel, check it out, see what he's all about. Sub to our channel, sub to his channel. And my dream, we talk about dream deer hunts, but my dream is to unite fellow hunters, people who are willing to be a part of the community, where we're not going to tear each other down. I see it on Facebook all the time. I see it on some of these other chat groups. I see it on TikTok a lot too. It's definitely alive and well on YouTube, especially in the shorts, but everybody wants to comment and put other people down for stuff that happens. Somebody makes a bad shot. I can make 100 great shots and make one bad shot, and I post it online, and I get torn to pieces. But that's part of who we are at Pain Train. We want to show everybody that aspect. We want to live through it. We want to work through it. We want to try to build a community around it that's here for support, here for conservation, here to do the right thing, and just live that great life. Matthew Benny. All right, guys. I think I'm going to leave it with that. I hate to jump off when I got so many guys on, but like I said earlier, I appreciate everybody that subs. I appreciate everybody that's out there watching the live. Anybody that likes anything that we post, go out there, do great stuff. Hit us up in the DMs, send us some messages, email me a picture of that big buck you kill. If you have any questions that you think we might be able to help you with, I know I can hear the pain train. Reach out to me, reach out to Al. We're more than willing to help. I think in the future, this is one of the things he and I talked about today. We would like to take people who are old enough. I don't want to start with kids yet because I don't want to get into that. But there are plenty of adults that live, work, exist around us that are interested in hunting because they see us shooting in the backyard. My neighbor Bill is, or my neighbor Dave is one. We got him started 2 years ago. He shot a doe his first year with a crossbow. He shot he shot a really big buck last year with a crossbow. But we want to get some of these guys out that are new. It doesn't matter who they are, where they come from. It doesn't matter what equipment they have. But we want to get them out there. We want to film them on their first hunt. So that way they've got a memory of, that day, that moment in their life that they can share with their friends, share with their family, and that they'll always have it. So that's kind of our vision. That's where we want to go with it. And we can't do that without the subs. We can't do it without the support. So we appreciate everybody. I'm going to jump off because I'm 20 minutes over already. But you guys have a good night. I appreciate everything.